The Mystery of the Deds. So the Deds collection is an NFT collection, and the artwork features animals in ghost sheets. Animals in sheets, so they're dressed up like ghosts for Halloween. And the reasoning behind the artwork, where it comes from, is a story. It's about there's a town called Forkton, and in 1995, on Halloween night in Forkton, a number of children from the town, from these two specific neighborhoods, they went out trick-or-treating and then never came home. And in addition to that, on the same night and over the following days, there were like a number of strange occurrences in that town. And so no one ever figured out why, no one ever figured out what happened, no one ever figured out where these kids went. Time went on, and in 2022, there was a disc, like a 3.5-inch floppy disk found. And the only way that you can play a disc or read a disc is through like a really old computer. So at first, no one knew what was on the disc, but the label, you could tell that it was about Halloween night in Forkton. So eventually, we came across this old computer with this old operating system that was able to read the disc. And now, for the first time in 26 years, even though it's reading very slowly and it's taking days to load these files, we have two what appears to be clues. Someone has collected clues. The first one is a police report, and the second one, the first one's a missing persons report. The second one's a police report and a photograph from a crime scene. And we're waiting. We can tell there's more loading, so we're just waiting for it to load. And so hopefully this disc is going to unlock some answers as to what happened to these children, and explain maybe some of the rest of the odd occurrences, because it's a small town and odd things like that don't happen. They're all concentrated on this time period after Halloween and then nothing. So that's where we are. And what this project is you buy a ghost, or up to 8 if you want. And when you do that, it's an interesting mint process, because you get to roll your artwork before you mint, before you pay. If you don't like what you see, you can re-roll. If you like what you see, you can mint. You can also change the background out to kind of like fit your style, or if you want it to be a PFP, have a different look in the background. There's all different styles. Some are photographs, some are, designs and shapes and that kind of thing. Some are textured and complicated. Some are flat and simple, that kind of thing. So you can kind of like choose what you want. And you also choose your street, which is a street in one of these two neighborhoods that I mentioned in Forkton. And then after the ghosts are minted, when 50% of them mint, this plan, this idea behind the project triggers and goes into action. And so what it is we have a team of experienced writers, film writers and TV writers, that are going to craft this mystery and basically unravel what's on this disc that I mentioned and what's happening on that night in 1995 over time by like revealing these artifacts. And what we're going to do is we're going to write it with the community of dead owners, of ghost owners. And once it's written, the characters in the story, we're going to actually map them to actual ghosts, to actual NFTs that people hold. And when we do that, we're going to license that ghost. So when you buy a ghost from the collection, you own all rights to that ghost. So you don't own the rights to like the Dead name or the Dead logo or the idea of the Mystery of the Deads, but you do own complete commercial and personal rights to your ghost. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a handful of ghosts. The community is going to decide who gets to be, officially each character. And there'll be several characters as the mystery unfolds. And when we choose a character, we'll pay royalties based on future profits to license your ghost. So the idea is that after this mystery is written and after it's all fleshed out and revealed, we're going to take that IP and we're going to take the artwork, the stories, the story of creating it as a community, all that stuff. We're going to wrap it up and we're going to see what we can do with it. And so the scope of the actual project kind of ends at this mystery. Like that's all we know now. But once the mystery part is done, we're going to do everything we can to keep growing it because that's the goal of this project. So if we do sell it or if we do license it to someone else or if we do decide to make anything else out of it, we'll pay for the people that are involved. And that's kind of our idea to, one, get this like writing project funded. So these writers have experience with like Hollywood and Netflix side of things where they're not always in control and they're doing a lot of stuff on spec. And one of the things we talked about early on when we were coming together to do this is a chance, an opportunity to show people that you can have an idea, get it initially funded, and then put it out into the world without, killing yourself to do a bunch of free work, basically. And then number two is we want to show that you can create an NFT project that works with the community, that benefits the community, potentially even financially, that everyone has involvement, everyone feels like they're part of something, etc., without it being a speculative thing, a Ponzi thing. Not that it's anywhere near a Ponzi, and that a lot of projects are, but to kind of take that aspect of NFTs that gets a lot of shade right now, and especially in a bear market that people are sort of rallying against, and show that actually that's not all there is with NFTs. There is a way to use like an upfront influx of capital and an efficient use of that to create a project that wouldn't be able to exist otherwise, or that maybe would be able to, but it would be a much different path to get there, and there would be a lot of more upfront and connections type work, whereas what we're doing now is permissionless in a way. We're saying to the community, if you want this made, this is our idea, and we're going to make it, and we're going to make it with you, and then from there, we're all going to benefit. So I'm going to do more over the next coming days with information about the mint, which has some different components to it, information about the mystery and the actual artifacts, because there are 2 artifacts out. If you go to dead.so/disc, you can view them in a little interactive experience. It's pretty cool. And then, more to it. And I'm going to do it basically this whole month. So there's going to be, a couple weeks of threads and getting a little bit pumped up. And then we're going to open the mint, and I expect it to actually mint slowly. So something I'll talk about in one of these threads, I'm sure. But, it's not like a crazy hype on mint day go. It's more of a spread the word as we build. And if you like what you see, you can go mint one, and you take your time and do the artwork, and then you mint one, that kind of thing. So thank you for watching. Thanks for being interested. Join the Discord too, because that's where I'm going to kind of organize everything. And then once we're going into this writing, that's where we're going to actually run the writing process. So thank you again, and see you soon.